Welcome back, Commissioners. Last tutorial we talked about creating the Excel spreadsheet for the dispersal draft, which you would use in either case. This first one is how to have the draft on MFL. Some of the advantages of having it on MFL instead of on a Google document is players will draft using the draft board. The system will email them when they're on the clock. You can set a timer, whether it's 1 hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours, everything just like a regular draft. And it helps the owners acclimate to the MFL the way that it works. So we've already named our teams, Open Team 1, 2, and 3. And what you would have to do for the rookie picks is go into create custom names, edit custom players under the players and rosters, and I've already got them in here. What I would recommend is put an asterisk first and then 2020 round 1, open team 1, all of the different picks that are available. Create them as Arizona so that they're the first team. You can filter them by the team. They can all be quarterbacks. That doesn't matter. Now all 9 of these picks are available to be drafted, and then they will appear on the player's roster, and you can then swap them out with the actual pick. So save custom players once you're done. Then you are going to go into your setup, and if you have had a startup draft anytime during the year, you will archive that draft. If you have had a rookie draft anytime during the year, you will archive that draft. So you go to Draft Setup, archive the draft, and then it'll ask you to name it. I already archived this one. I called it Main, and then you have that on file. That way now you can set up a new draft. So under Draft Setup, you have the draft start and time. Do that whatever is for everybody that's convenient for everybody. I've got mine set up to start tonight, and then save it, and then go into draft setup, your general draft and timer setup, and you can stop it between 11 Eastern time and 7 a.m., 8-hour clock, 2-hour clock, whatever. You can have it set to skip the pick if somebody is on the clock and they don't pick in time, or whatever the case may be. Make sure that both NFL veteran and rookies are available in your draft, and then click save. And then the next thing you do is go to draft setup, draft order setup for all rounds. You want your open teams towards the top, and the other franchises, it doesn't matter because you will delete them. And you can use a randomizer and then just move them up or down as need be. I'm not going to mess with this because I've already got it set, but 45 rounds, I recommend you do 10 extra rounds over and above however many roster spots that you have, maybe even 15 if you've got a deep roster. That accounts for people that are on IR, that accounts for rookie picks, that one team may end up with 6 rookie picks, so they need to draft an additional 6 players in order to fill out the roster. So make that more than it needs to be. You can always skip an owner if you need to. Then you're going to save this setup, and then you're going to go back into setup and draft setup for 1 round. All 12 teams will be here. You will just remove from list. It starts from the bottom up. That's why you wanted to make sure that your draft order had your open teams towards the top. Once you remove them all, then you can apply it, and you want to apply it to all other rounds. Once you've done that, then the last thing you got to do before the draft is set is then you have to go into draft setup for 1 round, click on your second round, and now you're going to reorder these so that it becomes a snake. So open team 3 was first before, and open team 2 was last. You're going to move them up and down using the arrows, and then you want to every other even numbered round. Click on that, and then save draft order. But I've already done that, so this is what the draft looks like. So I've got open team 3 is first, then 1, then 2 picks twice, then 1, then 3, all the way through for 45 rounds. When an owner is done, let's say it's a 35-man roster, they didn't draft any rookie picks, they're done at 35, you can skip them from there on out when you go into the skip a pick. And go back into commissioner setup before the draft can start. Now you need to unload the rosters. So you go to the players and rosters, load and unload rosters, click on it once. You want to go and let's do open team 1 first. And then this is their roster. Click on Josh Allen, then hit the shift. You're holding down the shift key and then click on TJ Hawkinson. The shift key highlights all of them by clicking on the first and the last. Then remove from the list. You can see the roster is completely bare. Oh, and by the way, you can see over here that open team 1, round 1 rookie picks, because of the asterisks, they're sorted right up at the very top. So we've removed them. Click load unload roster, and here it verifies these are all the players that it just took off of here. You've got these already on your Excel spreadsheet. Don't panic. You have the master list, and everybody else does as well. They can use that just to make sure if they are not available to take anybody off of the free agent pool, they only can draft off of the Excel list. Then they have to track it on the Excel sheet themselves. So now we want to go back into commissioner setup and unload the roster. We're going to use the recently used, and this time for open team 2. And now click on Jacoby Brissett once, hold down the shift key, scroll down, click on the last guy. It highlights them all, remove, and load unload roster. Very quickly, and there you can see it acknowledges off to the left that everything is done. And we've got one more. We go into open team 3 and click on Devlin Hodges once, hold down your shift key, scroll all the way down, hit Jeff Swaim. They're all blue. Remove from list, load and unload rosters. Now if I click on the rosters tab, they gone. And now when the owners draft, they'll draft them onto their team. And when they're all done with the draft, the only thing you've got left to do is the rookie picks. And I'll show you how you can do that. So let's go to setup and let's go to the abilities under the commissioner franchise setup, ability setup. We don't want anybody, select all abilities and then click it again to unselect. We only want open team 1, open team 2, and open team 3 the ability to do everything that they need to do. Everybody else at this point is not able, they're disabled. Or if trades are accepted, if you can trade, you can click on this column and everybody can propose and accept trades. The others just can't add or drop without permission. And you can even make it so they can't do the add drops if you want to take that permission away from them. And then save abilities. So now people can trade. If you go into the trade screen, you can see that open team 1 currently has only their own draft picks, and they have their rookie picks, but those are technically not theirs yet. But if they wanted to, they could go in and trade. Let's say they wanted to trade pick 102 for 203, 501, and 803. They could potentially trade their 102 before they even take it. They could even trade with an existing owner if they wanted to. So that's kind of cool to be able to give them that ability. But let's go into the draft and let's make a few picks. So open team 3 is now on the clock. This is what it would look like for them. They make a draft pick. They can sort by ADP and see that Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, all these guys, let's say they want to take Saquon Barkley, they just draft the player. And now, if we click on rosters, open team 3 already has Saquon Barkley. Lot less work for the commissioner. Although when I teach you the load unload rosters when it comes to using the spreadsheet method, I think you'll find that's just as easy. And a lot of commissioners use the trade screen. That creates all kinds of extra email for the league, and it's a pain in the butt for the commissioner. It takes forever double checking everything. So I will show you that other method in just a minute. Oops, I wanted to go to draft. Let me draft just a couple more players. Open team 1, make a pick, and let's say they take Devontae Adams. And then the next guy goes in. He's got 2 picks in a row. He's going to take Tyreek Hill. And let's say they take Mike Evans as their second pick. And then one more. Let's go in and open team 1 wants to take one of those rookie picks. Let's say that the rookie, we're going to go to Team Arizona, and open team 1 has the 101, so they're going to draft. Now they've got that draft pick. So if we go and we look at the rosters, they're shaping up. After everything is all said and done, and now you've got these draft picks here, you know that this is the round 1 pick of open team 1, and now you can go into the trades and you can say open team 1 and you can see that this, you could trade it, but they actually have the open team 1 pick because they were open team 1, so you wouldn't actually have to do anything with it. But you can hide this after you know that, let's say that it was the open team 2, you could actually trade and say, okay, this one, these 2 need to go over here and that one needs to go over there, and you can perform the trade, and now that gets the draft picks to where they need to go. That's pretty usual. And you would only have to, with a 3-team dispersal, do that operation twice. You should be good with, or 3 times, and you should be good with everybody.